Happy what? What is it today? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Tuesday, people. Happy Tuesday. Um, so I just want to quickly do a live video to talk about the topic of finding products to sell. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about issues of finding lucrative products to sell or services or whatever the case. And during the conversation, it dawned on me that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of us entrepreneurs make the same mistakes over and over and over when it comes to finding products to sell. And since 2020, when the lockdown was introduced in June, if I remember correctly, since the whole introduction of COVID-19 restrictions and all these things, we have seen such a surge in terms of e-commerce growth. More and more people have been shopping online since then, continue to shop online. Extraspace.co.za actually says that during that whole initial lockdown phase, your big online retailers actually saw enormous growth. Takealot, I think, recorded about 28% in growth. One Day Only recorded about 128% growth during that period, which is amazing, to such an extent that the e-commerce growth that has took place specifically in South Africa is a growth that was actually predicted for a few years into the future. So around 2025 or so, that what we're experiencing now in e-commerce transactions and everything, it's what has been predicted for the year 2025 onwards. So we've basically surpassed predictions in terms of e-commerce. So as a result, we are seeing a lot of people coming into the space of selling online and building e-commerce brands and e-commerce businesses and the like. But one of the things that I keep seeing over and over, even the people that I mentor, the people that I have conversations with, and here and there give them advice, one of the mistakes that I've seen is the methodology people use in terms of finding products to sell. Now, what I mean by this is that the formula that we tend to use is we first find the product. So we are seeing popularity in sneakers, we are seeing popularity in clothing or whatever, and then we go and find these products, and then only then do we then try and find the customer to sell to. And as a result, we are selling things to people that are not necessarily in need of those things, or you find yourself in a situation where you're always negotiating pricing customers are always negotiating pricing. So you are told that you are too expensive, or I can find this thing somewhere else for 200 and you are charging 600, kind of vibe, and I truly believe that all this is caused by the methodology we use in finding products. I'm a marketer by training, so whenever I discuss issues of business and whatnot, I always look through the lens of marketing and brand building. I always look through that lens, the same way that a person who's more trained in accounting and whatnot would look through the lens of finances. I look through the lens of marketing and brand building. And even the issue of product development, to be honest, is a marketing function. It's not, and it's amazing how I see a lot of people, choosing products outside the scope of marketing. So what do I mean? The methodology that we're supposed to be using is a methodology where we first figure out a kind of market. So the first thing you do is identify who is it that you're trying to talk to in terms of the market. Who is it that you're trying to sell to? Ne? Once we've identified who it is that we're trying to sell to, Then the next question is to identify pain points and desires of that market. So what are the pain points of that market and what are the desires of those markets? Because in the pain points and the desires, that's where opportunity lies. So your product and the service that you offer to them is a solution to pain points and or desires. So we then match a product according to a customer pain point, as opposed to trying to match a customer to a product. That's not gonna work. You're going to always find yourself hitting a ceiling when you're trying to sell, But it's first, for example, the conversation I was having with my friend, I was saying to him that look at females. Let's say, for example, you're looking at females as a market. It's a very broad market, but let's just use that as an example. What are the pain points that women would go through? Think about what different dynamics are there to a woman. There's the beauty element, there is the health element, there is the motherhood element, there is the wife element, there is the career element, there is the religious element. There's quite a woman is essentially, or a human being in essence, is like an onion. There's many layers to them. So it's then looking at okay, cool. I want to match my skill set as well. Let's say you have skill sets in health. Then you look at a woman through the lens of health. In the area of health, what are the pain points or desires of women? So, for example, you may find that there's a lot of women that want to lose weight, but at the same time, they may not have they may not have the discipline or the time to go to gym regularly, or the patience to go to gym regularly to lose weight. So they are looking for easier ways to lose weight without having to go to gym all the time. That is a pain point and a desire, because the desire is that I really don't want to go to gym. I hate going to gym, but I still want to lose weight. The pain point is I don't have the time, nor the patience, nor the discipline to go to gym. And at the same time, I'm not happy with my current weight. I want to lose weight. Then what you then do, because you've understood the pain point and you've understood the desire, that then gives you the foundation for your product or your solution. Then you go look for a product. Then you go find products that, okay, what are the products out there that allow people to lose weight without having to go to gym? There is slimming teas. Okay, can I make those teas myself, or can I find a supplier that can make teas? What kind of maybe once you do your research, you find that majority of slimming teas only have a combination of, in terms of natural ingredients, that only have like maybe ginseng or ginger, whatever. I'm just making example. Lemon, those are the common stuff. Then maybe in your research and your experience, you found that maybe coconut water or coconut in itself has better properties to help with losing of weight. I'm making an example, guys. I'm not saying coconut you lose weight. I'm just making an example just to bring my point across. So with that, then we then understand that, okay, cool. Then you can talk to your supplier and say, in the slimming teas, can we not include the ingredient of coconut, and how will that affect my costing and whatever. Then you have found a supplier that already makes the slimming teas, but now you're adding differentiation, because now you are adding components that competitors don't necessarily add, that then also adds to the taste of the teas. Maybe slimming teas just taste bad and you're not allowed to put in sweetness or whatever. So at least with the coconut element, it has a nicer smell and whatever the case may be. So the point I'm trying to bring across is that how you then find products to sell, or even services to sell to a customer. It is first understanding who is it that you're trying to talk to. So in my example, it is the female market, and what component or layer of that market are you trying to talk to. So we are talking to the health element of females, for example. Okay, in terms of health, what are the main pain points? So the one pain point that we identify is that there's a majority of women that are not happy with their weight, but also they are not necessarily the gym bunny type. They are not about the life of going to gym and doing all those things. So as a result, then we look at okay, cool, I've understood female market, issue of losing weight, but I don't want to go to gym. I want something that can be a regime, but I don't want to go to gym. So maybe look at products like slimming teas or whatever. Then you then add, how do you differentiate that to the product, and then you introduce that to the market. And then that's why I was saying product development is a marketing function, because now you already know who you're talking to. You already know what kind of problems you're solving for that customer in terms of your product. So now your brand narrative, your brand purpose, and your brand direction is already done, because you already know what is it that your brand narrative is going to be. So what tone of messaging are you bringing out in terms of your marketing? What are you effectively selling to the female market? You are not selling a tea. You are selling convenience of losing weight without having to go to gym. And that is how then you sell it. And that's where now you'll find that a lot of businesses that are really successful in terms of selling products, it's not really about the product, it's what the product does for people. We sell solutions. We don't sell necessarily a product. The product is just a product, there's millions of sneakers out there, there's millions of teas out there, there's millions of whatever, but there's always those 2 or 3 brands that are always doing better than the others. And you'll find that it's not an issue of I'm selling the cheapest laptop, so I'm selling the cheapest teas, or whatever, but I'm selling a solution in the sense of I'm selling to you the ability to lose weight without going to gym. And that is the brand narrative, that is a messaging that you bring across into your customers. So thank you so much. I don't want to go over 10 minutes, but I see that I've gone over 10 minutes. But yeah, so essentially that is the thought process. So we've launched a program now where we are helping people build e-commerce websites. It's a two-part program. It is a paid program. It's not free, so please guys, it's not free, but it's a paid program, and it's a two-part program. So on one hand, we help you build the infrastructure. So we help you build the website. We help you build the brand in terms of the corporate identity development. We develop the website for you. But on the other hand, we then support from a business perspective, which is we help you define your branding and your marketing. We help you find suppliers and find the right products at the right point, how you price them, your inbound and outbound logistics, so how you receiving the stock and how you delivering the stock to your customers. We basically, there's a training element that goes on for 4 weeks that where we help you literally build the business model. But on one hand, it is the actual building of the infrastructure and the branding, the corporate identity and whatever. So it's a new program that we've launched. And if you're interested, you can just send me an inbox and I'll just give you further details in terms of what needs to happen. Just send me an inbox and write e-commerce, and I will know that, okay, you want to find out more about that. And then I will just then give you further details on what the process is, how much it is, and whatever the case. Anyway, thank you guys. You can give me feedback if you want to know further. If you have more questions or whatever, just send your questions in the comments there and then I will answer them. Thank you so much.